We are live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Boxing Fanatico Live, episode 55. Today we're going to talk about that Frank Martin's Shakur Stevenson debacle because it just appears to never end. It's a never-ending cycle between both these guys. Let's go ahead and switch over to my page real quick. What is going on, everybody? We got to start off, of course, with the main man, the myth, the legend, Hashim 47 with the Let's Go champ. And, of course, we got to start off also with the other legend, the other man, the other myth, the other legend, Michael Buffer. Let's go ahead and start off with Michael Buffer right quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to...
Let's get ready to rumble. David Morales, what is going on? What is up? What is up, brother? All right. So today is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting one because this is the never-ending saga. I almost went live on a weekend because this was so crazy. I almost went live on a weekend, but instead I made a video. Let me get a little bit of salsa water right quick. That's bubbly. Oh my gosh, I love salsa water. All right. Frank Martin has fired back at Shakur Stevenson for saying he's ducking. So we got an official report from ESPN stating that Frank Martin and his team are no longer interested in this fight. They don't care about the fight no more. Get this off my desk. I don't want this. I don't want this. Put it over there somewhere, or put it in my special filing cabinet, the garbage bin to the left over there. They don't care about it no more, right? So Shakur Stevenson came out immediately as well, right after official reports from Mike Coppinger, official reports from ESPN, official reports from Top Rank, and they said, "Hey, you know what? This dude is a straight up duck." Duck emoji, duck emoji, duck emoji, duck emoji. And then a day and a half passed. And then finally, Frank Martin came out and said this. I ain't duck nothing. I ain't duck, 4-letter word. You already know what it is. I ain't ducking nothing. And then that's it. That's all he said. That's all we got. So we got an official report from Mike Coppinger. We got an official report from Top Rank, from ESPN. Shakur Stevenson going out on a limb, posting out as well saying, "Hey, look, what's going on, man? This dude is a straight up duck." And all we got from Frank Martin is, "I ain't no duck." Oh, my man. Hey, hold on. We got Love C Shorty here early in the house. What's going on, Love C Shorty? We gotta do the super chat real quick. Thank you so much. Here early for this one. Of course, I'm gonna give you the heart right quick as well. And we got Poe in the house. What's going on, brother? Let's see. ASAP TV, what did you say? Should have went live, bro. We're gonna show up and show out every time. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. David Morales, after the boxing talk, what did you think of Izzy this weekend? Oh, okay. Yes. So I actually did watch UFC 293. One of the main reasons, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna even front. One of the main reasons that I bought, what's going on, Aldrin, the mag? One of the main reasons that I bought UFC 293 was because I thought that they was gonna show gameplay. I know I'm naive. I'm naive, but I thought they was gonna show UFC 5 gameplay on there, and I just wanted to make sure that I caught it with everybody else, right? But also I like Israel Adesanya, so I'm like, there's very few people when they fight I know who they are, right? Israel Adesanya is one of them. John Jones is probably the one that I know more than anybody because I used to watch John Jones a lot back in the days. Conor McGregor, if he fights, but he probably not fighting no more, whatever. And Jose Aldo, because I used to kind of like MMA a little bit, kind of like during the time when Jose Aldo was fighting people like Uriah Faber. Yeah, like when they were fighting, like I kind of enjoyed it, like for a little bit, because I like Pride so much that I would kind of look at all the other ones, but I was focused more on Pride. But, when those guys fight, I know who they are, so I'll watch it. So this was like a two, what I'm saying? I was killing two birds with one stone. If I'm going to watch, I barely watch these UFC pay-per-views, but if I'm going to watch one, I bought the John Jones one when he came back and fought Sarogan. I bought that one just because that was John Jones. But then this one, I was like, all right, let me watch it. I get to watch the trailer, if the gameplay trailer, if it's there, hopefully. If not, whatever. And I get to see Israel Adesanya. Man, was that trash. That was so trash. He didn't do anything the whole fight. I don't know if his fight with, I don't know what that other guy that keeps knocking him out, Jose Pereira, I think. I think he's put so much fear into his mind. It's kind of like Anderson Silva, how when Anderson Silva, after he broke his leg, he was never really the same. He was always kind of like iffy. I feel like that's the same thing that's happening with Israel Adesanya. Alex Pereira, that's the guy. Alex Pereira. Okay, Fanatico watching UFC. Maybe you'll end up liking it. I love both boxing and MMA. Listen, I'm telling you, I like John Jones. Like, I don't like what he does on the outside. I don't condone nothing he does outside of the octagon. But inside the octagon, he's fun to watch. He's real fun to watch. So I really like John Jones. Of course, my favorite of all time is Fedor Emelianenko. But that's a different conversation. So I'll watch it every once in a while. But I just love boxing so much. And because boxing is so different, like I can't, the things that happen in boxing, I don't see them. Like it's basically orange and apples. Yeah, they're fighting each other, but it's just completely different sport. So it's hard for me to, like, it's harder for me to get into MMA because I guess boxing is so rooted into my mind and like, just like it's hard to explain, but there's something about boxing that I can't disconnect my brain from, that I just enjoy so much. And that's why it kind of makes UFC harder for me to watch. But I do enjoy watching the big names like John Jones and them. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to start watching more. We're going to be playing UFC 5 on here. You guys want me to do the career mode, all that stuff? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that stuff. I'm going to play online and have ranked matches and all that. So, might as well get involved, a little bit, dip my feet a little bit into the culture of UFC just to see what it's like. Yeah, I saw you were watching it on Twitter. Yeah. I was watching it on Twitter. Let's see, Alex. Aldrin the Mac. Fanatico, did you see the leaked gameplay of UFC 5? I did actually see something. Was it the ground and pound that you talking about when it was hitting on the ground? Is that what you talking about with the ground and pound? I did see it. Let me know if that's it or if there's something else. Messed them up bad mentally. Yeah, that's what I think. What about Fury versus Ngannou? I think that Fury is going to destroy Ngannou. That's what I think is going to happen in that fight. MMA fighters, no matter how hard they hit, no matter how good they are with striking, it isn't boxing. It's just completely different. There's things that they have to think about, therefore, and their opponent also has to think about a bunch of other things. Therefore, they're not as proficient in any one thing. Therefore, they lack in boxing when it's just the focus of punching. And it always gets exposed when they actually go and fight. And this has been proven and almost kind of, they've debunked their ability to box with all of their crossover events. With Conor McGregor crossing over with Floyd Mayweather, all these other fighters crossing over to fight Jake Paul. It's kind of debunking the whole notion that they could they could punch and knock people out in the ring. So they could probably, in the octagon, they could probably do it in the ring. And we're seeing that that's just not the case. So I'm not expecting Ngannou to do much. Everyone in boxing has a puncher's chance. Everyone in boxing has a puncher's chance. And if Ngannou does win by some miraculous, people who have bought lottery tickets and won, right? So if Ngannou wins by some miraculous stroke of luck, then I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he should, fight for the title or what. But it will be impressive. It will definitely create waves in boxing and create an immediate superstar. He could become an immediate superstar if he wins against Tyson Fury. That would just be amazing. Imagine Ngannou versus, if let's say he knocks out Tyson Fury and then it's Ngannou versus Deontay Wilder. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm not seeing that happening. I'm not seeing that happening at all. Facts, it should still be entertaining though. Yeah, I'm definitely watching it, and I'm gonna do the fight along for that fight for Fury versus Ngannou. We're gonna be right here. We're gonna be live for the whole event. Now I'm saying I'm a little depressed that we couldn't go live for the Frank Martin Shakur Stevenson fight. I wasn't too hyped about that fight, to be honest. I just thought that this was a Shakur couldn't get a fight kind of fight, in my opinion. But I was going to do the fight along anyways, right? I was going to do the fight along for it because it's my guy, that's Shakur. I'm a Shakur fan. So we was going to do that. But the Ngannou versus Fury fight, we'll do the fight along for that one. We'll definitely do the fight along. Ngannou punch on the jaw is still a punch from a powerful man, octagon or ring. This ain't McGregor Mayweather. Ngannou hit harder than Wilder. Yeah, I said it. That's a little crazy. I think Wilder is probably the hardest puncher, one-punch puncher in the history of the sport. It is very possible because of his knockout ratio and how many people he's knocked out. He's probably the hardest puncher in the history of the sport. So I don't know. I don't know if that claim is a good claim. But let's see what he does. He'll punch harder than Wilder if he knocks out Fury, right? Because Wilder couldn't even do that. So that'll be impressive. So we'll have to wait and see. If we being honest, Frank Martin would have been more of a tune-up than an actual challenge anyway, so it's not a big deal to me. Yeah. It's just when you like boxing, you just want even if I like boxing and Shakur Stevenson is my favorite fighter, right? And of course, on here, even if he's my favorite fighter, we put biases aside when we're talking about stuff that they're doing, how they're fighting in the ring, even the negotiation stuff. And we're gonna talk a little bit about certain things that have come out of this back and forth between Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson. But with that being said, I just like seeing him fight. Now I just don't know when he's going to fight. It's kind of more interesting for him to fight Frank Martin than to fight De Los Santos, which is where it's going right now. I think Edwin De Los Santos is where he's going to go with it. That's kind of like a Yoshina to me, right? It's cool, right? But Frank Martin would have been a little bit more fun. But it's not anything amazing. When he fought Oscar Valdez, to me, that was amazing. Right? When he fought Jamel Herring, to me, that was amazing. And because he fought those guys, now he's elevated what's amazing for him to do, or what's I gotta watch this. Now it's more like the Lomachenkos and the Devin Haney's and the Tank Davises. Those are the fights that's more of the eye-popping fights, right? So that's kind of the things that that's why I was a little upset, because it's just, I know where it's gonna go now. It's probably gonna go to De Los Santos, and I kind of don't really care for that. I just, it's whatever. I care less for that than the Frank Martin fight. I think the Frank Martin fight would have been a little bit more fun, just because I can't even say, because Frank Martin don't even fight for world titles. I'm telling you, people just hype people up, man. Just hype people up, and then they get disappointed all the time. Watching Ngannou KO on Overeem Wilder, Overeem KO on Overeem. Oh, on Overeem, Wilder ain't doing that to the man. What? Come on, man. Wilder be punching people through their blocks, through their guards, and they still get knocked out cold. Wilder's crazy, bro. His power is crazy. In boxing, in the heavyweight division, and proportionate to his size, his power is crazy. 100% facts, 100% agree. I want to see Shakur fight as much as I possibly can. Shakur Stevenson. Fury got up every time. I know, but the first time he got dropped in that first fight, he had to do the Undertaker get up, because the dude looked like he was out. He looked like he was out. He had to do the Undertaker get up. So, I don't know, man. So, let's talk a little bit about what Frank Martin is saying, or what he said. And then, let's also talk about how I feel like one of the things that I can't stand about the boxing community, and it's the content creators behind this, because they're always like agenda. You know what I'm saying? What do I need to do, boss, so that I could, defend my promotional company? What do I need to do? What do I need to say? Okay, let me go out and say that, right? So it's like, now what people are doing is that they're taking something that Frank Martin said August 16th on Twitter, and they're attaching it to the thing he just said. They're editing the photos, they're docking it, and then they're sending it to content creators, and content creators are not doing any due diligence and looking at the Twitter, and they're just like, oh, he said that he never received a contract. So why is Shakur not sending him a contract? And he said he ain't ducking nothing. So you take that. Plus he said he ain't received a contract. So why is it he didn't receive a contract in August 16th? And I think that was in reference to Keyshawn Davis. He ain't received a contract then. He not talking about Shakur Stevenson and him agreeing before, mind you, before the purse bid, canceling the purse bid. Now, here's another thing that people do not understand about purse bids. Here's another thing. I already showed y'all the legalese of what a purse bid is in one of my live streams, probably like 15 live streams ago, maybe even more. When we were talking about the purse bid, when Shakur Stevenson was forcing the WBC to push to mandatory for Devin Haney to have to fight him because he didn't want to take the 25%, right? So Shakur didn't want to take the 25%, but he was willing to take as low as 30%, which is what you would get from the if it's forced in a mandatory, right? You would get 30%, the max, right? For the champion would get more, and you'll get 30%. So he would have went 5% higher, right? Now, people are saying that Shakur Stevenson was supposed to make $5 million. There's nobody, by the way, no one that has reported on this that is an official reporter for boxing. Nobody. Not ESPN, not Mike Coppinger, not Top Rank, not PBC, not anybody. Michael Benson, nobody. What's his name? Dan Raphael? I forget his name. Dan Raphael, I think. No one, no official boxing scene hasn't talked about it. Nobody has talked about it. There's no official numbers out. But it only takes one person who wants to gaslight the community, because boxing is just a bunch of gaslighting community members who love to just be like, oh, just say this. It doesn't matter. It's for the greater good. It's probably happening anyways, right? So just say that he's getting $5 million, which is absurd that he's going to get $5 million for a Frank Martin fight that's fighting on Thursday in connection with a football game, and it's not pay-per-view. Give me a break. Ain't nobody making $5 million. They not making $5 million probably between the two of them, right? So he making $5 million, and just say, because they said Frank Martin's making $1 million. So we got to say $5 million for Shakur so that it's lower than 25%. And that way we could start saying Shakur Stevenson is a hypocrite. This is the world that we live in, where nobody does any research. Nobody does any due diligence. People just take things on face value because they're cherry picking information. They're cherry picking information. They're looking at stuff, and when this thing says something they don't like, they go like this. When this thing says something they don't like, they go like this. And then this thing, and they're like this. And then they see one thing, they don't care if it's from a reliable source, they grab it and they start sharing it to everybody. And then the other people that want to hear that, they start sharing it to everybody. And then all of a sudden we got content creators. Content creators was driving me crazy. You a content creator. You got so many subscribers. Do just a little bit more work than the average Joe, so that at least you could have some sort of integrity and you give your audience something that they can actually chew on. That's real. You don't just move them astray to somewhere else. Do 5 seconds of research at least If they're gonna doctor something and send it to you, just double check and see. Go to his Twitter, look at it. Oh, did he say that? Okay, he said that he ain't ducked nothing. All right, when did he? Oh my goodness, he said this August 16th. The timelines don't add up. Just do something. Just do something. You're a content creator. You're a content creator. Just do a little something. If you got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, just do a little something. Just so that you can make sure that you give your audience something that's reliable, right? But I get it. I mean, it's not so much. Sometimes it's not about giving reliability. It's just about feeding them the stuff they want to hear. But the truth of the matter is, we don't know how much money was given to Shakur. There are actually reports out there that Shakur was offered $3 million and Frank Martin was offered $2 million, right? But I'm not gonna be like, ooh, that's the one I want to talk about, because it ain't reliable. It ain't reliable. But here's another caveat, and circling back to the whole mandatory. When it was gonna go to a purse bid, Frank Martin did not have to accept. The only reason that the purse bid is canceled is not because ESPN, they're trying to control the narrative. ESPN trying to control the narrative. They're the ones that cancel the purse bid. Purse bids don't work like that. The only way a purse bid gets canceled that's planned is if both sides say, yeah, we're good. Money is really the main reason why some fights go to purse bids. It's because of the money. Either they don't want to fight the person or the money. Like, those are the only two things, right? So the purse bid will guarantee him at least 30%, minimum 30%. So you mean to tell me that Frank Martin said, nah, let me see the paper? Because, by the way, these terms are agreed upon, which is what cancels the purse bid. Because both Frank Martin's team tells the WBC, we're good. We're going to go ahead and do this. We don't need to go to a purse bid. And Top Rank goes, we're good. We're going to go ahead and do this. We don't need a purse bid. They both do that. So they look at the numbers and they say, yeah. So you mean to tell me that Frank Martin saw 17%, saw the purse bid was today, and went, nah, you know what? I could get 30%, but we're not gonna mess with that. Let's do the 17%. Here we go. Let's do the 17%. Do you guys actually believe that that's what happened? It's not even like, all you gotta do is use the circumstantial evidence, and it is as clear as day. But the problem is that there's people that don't like Shakur. They want to keep making fun of Shakur and be like, oh, Shakur's beating everybody on Twitter. That's the only place he fights. He don't fight nobody for real. He only hypothetically fights people. So how do we keep this narrative going that he hypothetically fights people? Well, we have to start making up numbers. Let's say that he got $5 million, an unheard of number, that $5 million for a Frank Martin fight on a Thursday. He got $5 million. No pay-per-view, by the way. So where's this money coming back from? I don't know. $5 million for him and $1 million for Frank Martin. That's 17%. And I'm going to ride with that. I'm going to make videos on that. It's okay if the regular Joe Schmo from down the street get on the computer and type and say, yeah, he getting $5 million and he's getting $1 million. He's a hypocrite. It's okay if he does that. It's okay if he does that, because he don't really control nothing. That's it. But when YouTubers come up here, you embolden the rest of the community, because you congregate the community into your channel. And now they feel comfortable saying it because you said it. Now they feel comfortable saying it because you said it. When are we going to turn the corner and just, like, what does it take for, like, us to just snap out of the whole bias boxing community thing? What is it going to take for us to do that? If it was the case that Shakur Stevenson took $5 million, or was going to get $5 million, and Frank Martin was going to get $1 million, I would have called out Shakur Stevenson on that, because although I probably don't think he would be ducking him in the sense that I understand what's gone on behind the scenes. Like, I know that he sparred Frank Martin and he laced him up, and also he sparred other people around Frank Martin that have laced up Frank Martin. So I'm sure in confidence wise, he was confident, but he would have been hypocritical because he turned down 25% from Devin Haney. But there ain't no official reports that he was given $5 million to fight on a Thursday, no pay-per-view during a football event. To fight on a Thursday, no pay-per-view during a football event against a Frank Martin. Very little amount of the last fight Frank Martin had, I think he made around $100,000. Just so that you guys get the perspective of how well known Frank Martin is. Once he fought Rivera, everybody thought that Frank Martin was the non-ducking king, right? He's not going to duck nobody, right? Because he fought Rivera like, oh, they fighting when they're young. And by the way, Frank Martin ain't young. Unfortunately, Frank Martin started his career when he was like 18 years old, which is super impressive, especially for how he fights. Super impressive. I would have loved to see what Frank Martin would have been if he would have started his, boxing when he was younger, right? When he was a little kid. I would have loved to see that. But, taking that into account, it's impressive. But there's nothing that's there's nothing $6 million worth for this fight to go down. It just don't exist. That's thin. Where you gonna pull the money from? Where's the money coming? They're gonna be in a massive red. They're gonna be in the red, massive in the red. All right, let me take a look at this. I'm seeing something. What's good, Fanatico? Bro, normally I wouldn't be here, but I'm not feeling good today, so I'm in here again. Oh, what you mean? Normally you're working at this time? Like, what? This confuses me. Are you sick or something? Like, what's going on, bro? You all right? My man loves C Shorty. Preach. Yo, we gotta like change boxing, man. Like, we gotta change not just the sport. Fine, there's things that sucks about boxing, but what sucks more is the misinformation that is like riddled in the sport in terms of community engagement and all that stuff. The misinformation, the gaslighting is crazy, and it's not even sometimes it's honest mistakes, but other times it's just, I've built an audience behind this, so I got to keep hammering this, even if I got to make stuff up. And that's where we at. We in a spot where people just make stuff up. People from the community make stuff up. They doctor stuff. They send it to content creators. They hope that the content creator shares it and talks about it. It's like, it's so easy to do research. It's so easy. It's not hard, man. We have the internet. We have the internet, right? It's so easy. We have the internet. Just use it. I'm telling you, just use it. Just use it for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you'll be able to find out whatever you want to find out. Will you understand it fully? No, but you'll be able to find out whatever you want to find out if you take 5 to 10 minutes to research something. Especially if let's say somebody send me a tweet, I'm not going to just take the tweet. I'm going to go to the tweet to make sure that he tweeted that. How many tweets, get doctored all the time? Like a bunch. So I'm going to go to the tweet. I'm going to read the tweet. I'm going to be like, oh, okay, he did say that. Or, oh, what the heck? Who edited this? It's that simple. Oh, we got King Juice in the house. Yo, we miss you, bro. Where you been? Where you been at, man? Where you been at? Yo, I seen that you got that Starfield. You liking that? I'm having a little bit of fun with Starfield. I'm not gonna front. I'm having a little bit of fun, but I noticed that I seen a video you was playing it. I'm wondering if you're enjoying it right now. What are your thoughts on Edwin de Los Santos versus Shakur Stevenson? I think it's an okay fight. It's an okay fight. I don't really care about it, man. I don't really care about it, to be honest, but I will watch it. Is it a good fight? Yeah, it's a good fight. It's just that in my mind, it's I see Shakur. Like Shakur to me is already he's probably pound for pound number 3 without nobody knowing, just from the eye test. So it's like I want to match his eye test with his competition, right? And I want him to fight the likes of Lomachenko or Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Even though with Tank, I don't think Tank is at Shakur's level or Haney's level or Loma's level because he doesn't fight at the top tier. But he's popular, right? So at least that gives Shakur Stevenson an ability to fight somebody where he could get a lot of eyeballs. And then Shakur Stevenson could fight other people and get eyeballs that just get siphoned from that fight. That's what I'm hoping, but LOL busy and yep, I'm loving it. All right, man. All right, that's cool. Hey, listen, I get it, man. I get it. I'm busy doing my things too, man. It's crazy out here. Got to work. But I get it. But at least you like it. I'm enjoying it. The only thing with mine is that it crashes a lot on PC. Like it's always crashing. And that's annoying. I don't know how to fix that. I'm hoping that they put an update or something because it's actually a little irritating. I just thank God for the quick saves or whatever, the auto saves, because it'd be driving me nuts, man, how much it'd be crashing. I don't know if you bought it for PC, but if you did, let me know if it crashes for you too. I will be at work this time, but I'm 6 today, bro. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right, that's not bad then. You just regular sick. All right, cool. You're not sick to like where we got to worry. Would you just regular? Okay, cool. Starfield is dope. I need a better ship. I'm going to have to jack one. I tried to do that and I got killed, man. It's too hard, man. It is hard. You would get smoked if you try to steal somebody's. And it's like you try to steal one guy's ship and you get jumped. It's like all the other people trying to take you down too. It's like, yo, I'm not taking y'all. I'm taking his ship. Can't y'all let me take his ship and leave me alone? Like, what's up? But that's not what happens. You get jumped in space. You get space jump. So with other ships just shooting you, what are you gonna do? There's nothing. There's nothing you could do. You have to surrender. So not even surrender. They kill you. I died and had to start over. It's a beat down waiting to happen to Edwin. He been calling to him. Yeah, but this is a cool thing, right? Because somebody like Edwin is so like he needs a little bit of a push so that he could get exposure. So he might fight Shakur because it might actually be a net positive to fight Shakur and lose to Shakur. Because if you fight Shakur and lose to him, then you become a common opponent to somebody else that might be trying to build something up with Shakur. And then when you become a common opponent to somebody else, then you also kind of become this kind of journeyman, right? You get slotted in and all of a sudden you a name that people know and boom, now everybody starts fighting you when they reach the 135 division and all that stuff. That's how it works, man. You might not think you that good, but it's such a net positive to even lose. Like, you know how much of a net positive it was to fight Floyd and lose to Floyd? It was such a net positive. And especially where Edwin is in terms of fame, I think even if you fought Shakur and lost to Shakur, it's still a net positive for your career. You're never gonna be like the super top guy, but you have an opportunity to always do that. What if he fights, Devin Haney or something and upsets him or something like that? So it's one of those things where it's, even at the end of the day, it's a net positive. It's a net positive for him. Well, whatever happened to online boxing 3D? I think he's still. Forgot his name. But I think he's still doing the new one, right? Part 2. Online 3D boxing. Online boxing 3D part 2. But he's posted a few videos recently. He's just not posted anything. He's not posted anything about the game releasing. But he's still working on the part 2 for that. But yeah, I'm still on the lookout for that. And once it drops, I'm definitely going to be playing it here as well. You always have to mention Loma. He's not even active right now. Hey, listen, I got to mention him because he's a point of reference. A lot of people know Lomachenko. That's why when I reference the past, I don't go all the way back to like, Vernon Forrest or, Oscar De La Hoya, or even though some people, they know Oscar De La Hoya. But I don't go back to like Pernell Whitaker. I go back to Floyd because I know people know Floyd. I got to hit a point of reference so people understand when they're in the community. But yeah, Loma, he's semi-retired, but he's not fully retired. He's not said that he was retired. So he's still a person, right? He's still a person of interest. And if Shakur Stevenson could secure a fight with him, that would be fantastic. Although Lomachenko wants nothing to do with Shakur Stevenson. And like my man right here just said, the King Juice, Shakur Stevenson cannot buy a fight. He cannot buy a damn fight. It don't matter what. Like, he can't buy no damn fight. He could... Now that Frank Martin, the person who was notorious for being so anti-ducking, where that was his plight, Frank Martin was championed because of that. And by champion, I mean when people were like, yo, this is what boxing's all about. When he was fighting Rivera, they're like, this is crazy that y'all not up there yet, but y'all deciding to fight each other now. Y'all two undefeated, talented fighters. And that was what boxing was all about, right? And then even interviewed about, well, Devin Haney wanted to fight Shakur, and Shakur didn't want to take the 25%. And he's like, man, you take the 25%, you become undisputed, you win those belts, and then now you got all the chips, and you could do whatever you want to do. But to be great, you take stuff like that. That's what he said. That's what he said. And then... when they was trying to make him, when they were not even taking him seriously, they weren't even taking him seriously. It's literally like the coach, everybody got injured. Everybody got injured. And remember when they pulled out Jeremy Lin for the New York Knicks, the only reason he played was because everybody was injured. And basically, instead of everybody being injured, everybody ducked Shakur. So they were like, all right, Frank, you're up. Let's go. Come on. And Errol Spence and Frank Martin, when they was told fight Keyshawn Davis, they were like, nah, we want you. And they finally got him. And they just was bluffing and bluffing and bluffing and bluffing until the 11th hour. And then they were like, all right, nah, we can't. No, pull out the fight. So it was all cap. All that stuff they was talking was all cap. Oh, I'm willing to fight everybody. No, you're willing to fight Rivera. You're willing to fight Rivera. You're not willing to fight everybody. You're not willing to fight. You're willing to fight Rivera. That's who you're willing to fight. But Shakur Stevenson is a whole nother beast that you're just not willing to get in the ring with. You're not willing to get in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. And miss me with all that stuff that it was $5 million to $1 million. The man did not want it to go to a purse bid. He agreed to terms. And before you go to a purse bid, one of the stuff that's on there is the money. It's not like, oh, we agreed to fight, but they never told me anything about the money. Now they did. No. The purse bid being the axiom between them before they decided not to do the purse bid and after ruins the argument that there was some sort of foolery with the money. He was offered whatever he wanted because purse bid would have gave him 30% minimum. So it can't be 17%, and it definitely ain't 25%. It had to be 30% or more. It had to be 30% or more. More than likely, probably more than 30%. Probably more. And that's the reason why we just get Frank Martin come out and say, I ain't duck ish. I ain't duck nothing. And my man, you post once a month and you're being scrutinized for rejecting a fight after you've accepted a fight before a purse bid, canceling a purse bid, meaning you accept the terms, you accept the money, you accept the split, and then after saying you're no longer interested. If Frank Martin is not going to be fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, it is clear as day that everything he was saying before they went into negotiations with Shakur Stevenson was all cap. It was all cap. And Shakur Stevenson sparred with Frank Martin. Shakur Stevenson sparred with Tank Davis, who sparred many times with Frank Martin. You don't think they know what Shakur could do? That's the problem with Shakur. He wanted to know how good he was, so he sparred everybody. Now nobody want to fight him because they lost in the sparring sessions. He did that with Lomachenko. If he would have never sparred Lomachenko, then Lomachenko would have had a false sense of hope against Shakur Stevenson. But because he sparred Lomachenko, that went right out the window. Now Lomachenko never wants to fight. He'll fight Devin Haney all day, left, right, and center. He ain't fighting Shakur Stevenson. He not. And it's crazy. Like, a person like Loma, a person like Frank Martin, they don't want nothing. Isaac Cruz, hell no. I'm not fighting Shakur Stevenson. Get that out of here. And people are like, yo, why don't you fight Isaac Cruz? He don't want to fight Shakur. He clearly said, his team said, we don't want anything to do with Shakur Stevenson. He's low risk. No, he's high risk, low reward. It's like when Shane Mosley didn't want to fight Floyd Mayweather back in the days. The only way, he wanted to fight Floyd was when he became a megastar. So Shakur Stevenson has to start doing planning stuff to become a megastar. I think that a fight with Tank Davis makes financial sense for both sides. And now Bob Arum is open to talking with the PBC. Obviously, we've seen that with the Frank Martin negotiations. And he was interviewed by Radio Raheem for Seconds Out in the press conference with the Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury fight. And he stated he's willing to talk to PBC to make the Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis fight. Where he previously said he was not willing to do that, he has now changed his mind. I guess he has he's seeing all these people not want to fight Shakur, and he's like, man, this dude really is like the real deal, I guess. Like, okay. And he's probably seen him beat up Oscar Valdez, beat up Yoshida, beat up every single person he fights. He's like, all right, okay, this is as clear as day. This man is just too good. So I don't mind bringing him, because basically he'll be a soldier for Bob Arum. Like, think about it. He'll go over and ruin a person's career, or like dilute their career, or give them a few steps back, and then come back to Top Rank. And then he sends them out to the zone, destroy, come back to Top Rank, send them out to the PBC, destroy, and come back to Top Rank. Thank you for reducing my competition. Now more people are going to come watch Top Rank. I think Bob Arum is now, instead of fearing the possibility of Shakur losing, he's now looking at it in a positive way, where it's like, I'll just send Shakur everywhere and have him basically take out all their biggest guys, and then he's my guy. That's where I think that's the mindset shift of Bob Arum now. That's where Bob Arum is probably, his mind is probably at right now. While haven't had any crashes. Oh, man, lucky you, bro. Lucky you. I'm playing it right now. NVIDIA got it on the lowest setting on my PC. See, but I don't want to I put it in medium settings. I don't want to put it on the lowest, right? I had it on high and it would crash. I put it on medium. It still crashed. I don't get it, man. Then it just crashes. Frank Martin is the Danny Garcia at 135. Is the Danny Garcia Danny Garcia is not a duck. The man fought Lucas Matisse and beat him. He fought Amir Khan when Amir Khan was hot. Like, he ended Amir Khan's whole run. Amir Khan was super hot, and Danny Garcia ended that run. He also fought with Keith Thurman. You can't compare. Come on, man. Be fair, King of 47. Be fair, bro. You can't do that to my man Danny Garcia. I'm not like a super fan of Danny Garcia by no means, right? He don't jump out at me as something special or whatever. But like, you can't pretend that with Frank Martin not fighting for world titles. Danny Garcia was fighting for world titles. Danny Garcia was fighting for world titles. Danny Garcia fought Errol Spence Jr. What you mean? Who? How is he the same as Frank Martin? They don't even. Frank Martin, they don't even got the same style. Danny Garcia is more of a power puncher, and Frank Martin more of a slick fighter. What Danny Swift Garcia is at 147? What? Was not a net positive for Endow to fight. Was not a net positive is for Endow to fight. He got to be open to 140 or fight with Navarrete, but being inactive these last 2 years is slowing his exposure. He wasn't inactive. You talking about Shakur? Shakur wasn't inactive. He fought. I think he fought this year already. Yeah, he fought this year. I think he fought with Yoshina this year. Yeah, he definitely had to find a fight. A fight with Navarrete would be cool, but Navarrete would have to move up to 135, and then they could probably do it. I don't think that Shakur would feel that he gets the benefit of the doubt with a win against Navarrete, because it'll be like, oh, he moved up, he was small, blah blah blah. It'll be that whole kind of spiel. But it's something better than nothing, right? Navarrete beat Oscar Valdez. He beat Oscar Valdez. Common opponent. Maybe they fight. And even though the Navarrete versus Oscar Valdez fight was kind of close, but if they fought, Shakur would definitely beat him. But it's one of those things where it's all right to see it because Navarrete is somewhat of a known name, right? So I wouldn't mind seeing it. In my opinion, I think the best possible scenario is that he fights Tank. That is the best possible scenario, but we're going to have to wait and see. That doesn't seem possible because Tank is adjacent. Tank is 135 adjacent, right? He doesn't fight anybody at the top tier. He fights whoever he wants. He fights whoever he wants. Oh, and now Teofimo has been elevated to super. So now 3 belts carry the super title. Or WBC Franchise Super, WBA Super, WBC Franchise, WBA Super, and WBO Super. So now we only miss an IBF to be Super. That's it. But IBF probably never be Super because they are the strictest out of all of the different titles in terms of mandatories. They will force you to fight. They will force you to fight or they are stripping you. They are the strictest of all of the title mandatories. Frank is like Boo Boo with 0 titles. He's like Boo Boo. Kinda. A little bit. I mean, he is calling people out, but then again, Frank is calling people out, and then when they actually went to fight him, he just had cold feet. So maybe he is like Boo Boo. I went to his fight, but that's one this year and one last year. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Being inactive these last 2 years. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not good. He definitely needs to fight. You only getting older, right? So he definitely needs to get another fight in there. I think he's just too good for his own good right now, and he's not valuable enough. He's somewhat valuable, right? Because he's like a star. People know who he is. So if you beat Shakur, that's going to be a big deal for you. So he's somewhat valuable. He's just not valuable enough. Like if Floyd had his value that he has right now, Floyd would have never fought anybody of substance. Nobody would have fought. It's only because Oscar gave Floyd that opportunity that he became so valuable after that Oscar De La Hoya fight. But before that, like Floyd, Shane Mosley was talking about going to the dentist, and because he needed to go to the dentist, he can't fight Floyd Mayweather, right? And then we fast forward years later, people try to say Floyd waited for Shane Mosley. People literally will tell you that Floyd waited for Shane Mosley to get older so that he could fight him, even though you could just go on YouTube and it takes 5 minutes and you could watch the video where Floyd calls out Shane Mosley and Oscar and Kasazu, and you can watch the video after Shane Mosley beat Mayorga, and they asked him, "Oh, the Floyd fight that made perfect sense." He said he want you. You want to do it? And in the interview, in the post-fight interview, he's like, "Nah, I'm just thinking about vacation and my teeth hurt. I feel like I need to get some dentures right now, so I'm not even focused on stuff like that." bro. But people would tell you that Floyd waited till Shane Mosley got old because, hey, it's the fun. Let's cherry pick and fit the narrative. I got a Bill Fanatico. See you on the next one. Shane Mosley, I'll see you on the next one, bro. Wednesday, by the way, 7 p.m. Eastern time to 8 p.m. Eastern time. You already know. Every Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. Yes. It'll be episode 56. What about a fight with William Zepeda? Zepeda also turned down Shakur Stevenson. Zepeda also said he does not want to fight Shakur Stevenson. So we got Lomachenko, Zepeda, Isaac Cruz, Frank Martin, and Devin Haney didn't say it, but he also made sure that it did not happen, right? He also made sure that it did not happen. And even when people want to say, oh, Shakur could have took it and bet it on himself, he did by pushing to it for a WBC mandatory. That forces the fight. That's not just talk. That forces the fight to happen. So if Shakur didn't want the fight to happen, he would have never petitioned for a WBC mandatory fight. He did. He got it granted. Then Devin Haney said, oh, I'll just not be undisputed anymore. That's much easier for me than actually fighting Shakur Stevenson. So Devin Haney just decided not to be undisputed. So Devin Haney, in my opinion, he politically ducked Shakur. Now he's just going to hang his hat forever on the 25% that he offered over the phone through a conversation to Bob Arum, kind of. And no contract, no lawyer involved to create a contract, send over, none of that stuff. Just, hey, 25%, take it or leave it. Oh, well, let's negotiate. Oh, that means you left it. All right, we're moving on. See, we tried to negotiate. So he's going to use that and ride that to the sunset. So to me, Devin Haney's also part of that. It's Devin Haney, Lomachenko, Zepeda, Isaac Cruz, and now Frank Martin, infamously Frank Martin, because Frank Martin was just talking so much about how he don't duck, and Shakur not fighting Devin Haney and not taking the 25% seems so bizarre because you do that stuff. You take the 25%, you win a title, you win world titles, and then you move forward from there. My man's not getting any younger. I think he, 28 years old. Frank Martin, 28 years old, has never won a world title. Shakur Stevenson is 26 years old, has won world titles in 2 divisions, unified at 130. He has over 3 world title wins. So I don't want to hear from nobody, bro. I really don't want to hear it from nobody. And I'm telling you, I be trying to have moments where I could come here to show that I'm unbiased. Like, I be wanting moments so I could be like, look, this is a moment where I have to say Shakur Stevenson is in the wrong. I want those moments because I want this to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to have the ability to show you guys all the different sides and how I could put my biases to the side. But we just don't have moments like that. Because it's just constant gaslighting coming from one side, and the other side is just so annoying. So when we see situations like this, the person that, in terms of the official information that we have, we could only assert that Frank Martin just bailed out of the fight for no reason. Can't be a money reason because he didn't want it to go to purse bid. He was okay with the money. That's why you cancel the purse bid, because you're okay with the money. So it ain't a purse bid situation that we're dealing with. So then what is it? What is it? Are you fighting Tank Davis? Is that what it is? If you were fighting Tank Davis, why are you not telling us? Why are you not telling us? Yeah, 100% Aldrin the Mag. Times like these, you got to appreciate Oscar Valdez for taking that fight with Shakur. 100%. Oscar Valdez is that dude, bro. Oscar Valdez is that dude. He's that dude. He fought Navarrete. He fought Burchelt, and he came out victorious with the Burchelt fight. He fought Shakur Stevenson. Oscar Valdez is that dude. Oscar Valdez ain't scared to fight nobody. He not scared to fight nobody. And Shakur is so good that even though he was completely beat Oscar Valdez from pillar to post, I think Oscar Valdez did the best out of all the fighters that fought Shakur Stevenson. Right? He broke Shakur Stevenson's record of landing more punches consecutive for rounds. I think he had like a crazy amount of rounds, like 100-something rounds, where every round he landed more punches than his opponent. Some crazy record. And then I think it ended in the third round versus Oscar Valdez. But don't get me wrong, he did better. That doesn't mean anything against Shakur Stevenson, right? Doing better don't mean that you did good. It just means you did better than people who were landing 4 jabs an entire fight against Shakur Stevenson. According to Teofimo, they don't make them the same anymore. Yeah, man. Yeah, they don't. It's because people are so scared to lose. It's like they hang on to that. People like Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman is one of those guys where he not scared to lose, right? He'll put his O on the line, and he's done it many times, right? He's done it against Sean Porter. He's done it against Danny Garcia. So he's willing to put his O on the line. But now, I mean, like, I don't even understand. Like, Devin Haney, what's up, man? Why you not fighting Shakur Stevenson? Why you walking out of the ring while Shakur Stevenson's walking into the ring so that you can have a moment to promote the fight? That's because he clearly did not want to fight. This is before he offered him the 25%. If you're going to offer him the 25% because you really want to fight him, why you not going to try to make as much money as possible and promote the fight after your fight with Lomachenko in the ring with Shakur Stevenson? Why are you going to walk out? That don't make no sense. Why are you walking out of the ring and not making it a moment? Because he never wanted to fight him. He want to keep his O. He know fighting Shakur Stevenson is a wrap. His O is going to go. And he don't want that. You know, Oscar Valdez put his O on the line, and kudos to him. He put his O on the line against Shakur Stevenson. My boy, I've been busy, bro, missing the streams. Hope all is well, as always, brother. Much love. It's all right, AP, whatever. No worries, buddy. No worries. Duckery. Yeah, that's that's what's going on right now, man. Duckery. That's what's happening right now. So hopefully, I don't know, man. Hopefully Frank Martin and his team just tell us. Just tell us. Don't say I ain't ducking nothing. Tell us what happened. Why was there a purse bid that was canceled because you agreed to terms, which means money and all that stuff? They already had a venue set up. They already had a date, everything. What made you, after the purse bid was canceled, which means you agreed, you and your team agreed, and their team agreed. What made you say you're no longer interested? You have to let us know. Because if you don't let us know, what the heck? It's not enough for you to say, I ain't duck nothing. Like, that's not, hello? Like, what the heck? We got official reports from Top Rank and ESPN. We got an official reports. You can't say, I ain't duck nothing. You can't say that. That's so easy. You imagine if that was life, where you could just punch somebody in the face and then the cops come and then they're like, yo, did you punch him in the face? I ain't punched nothing. And then the cops is just like, oh, damn. Okay, all right. Hey, guys, come on, pack it up. Let's go. Let's go. He ain't punched nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to a jewelry store, break the thing, grab the stuff, run out, and then the cops come and, hey, what are you doing? You just robbed them? I ain't robbed nothing. It's like, oh, all right. My bad. We thought, we thought for a second, because you had a bag, there's glass on you, know what I'm saying? You have a whole hammer in your hand, but you ain't robbed nothing, so you're good. You can go on your way. My fault, sir. Do you need an escort? Do you need an escort to get you to your home safely? Like, you can't do that, bro. Like, that's not the world we live in. You got to tell us why. You can't have one side just telling y'all mad stuff, why it happened, why it didn't happen, and then you just come out and say, I ain't ducked nothing. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that. That's just not how it works, man. Bro, they doing Shakur dirty, ducking him too. It's so crazy to see he's ducked AF. I haven't seen a fighter any more ducked than Shakur is the most ducked fighter in boxing right now. He is the true boogeyman in fighting, in boxing. He's too good for his own good. He is the boogeyman. Nobody wants to fight him. Nobody wants to fight him. Please, people don't like to be embarrassed. Exactly, man. That's all it is. That's the only reason he came out and say he don't post on Twitter. The ghost, he don't post. The ghost be ghost on Twitter. And the ghost went ghost on Shakur. But the ghost be ghost on Twitter. All of a sudden he come out of nowhere. All this mountain evidence. Like, bro, there was a purse bid. You accepted you canceled the purse bid because you accepted everything. And then you pulled out of the fight. And all you're going to tell us is you ain't ducking nothing? I'm sorry, man. We need more than that. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and end it. We just hit 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's the end of the Boxing Fanatico Live show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be back, of course, as always, on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time to 8 p.m. Eastern time, and also on Friday. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, same time, all the time, 7 p.m. Eastern time to 8 p.m. Eastern time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much. We needed to have this conversation. It's kind of sad. You already know that Shakur Stevenson is my favorite fighter. Of course, I put my biases aside when we need to actually break down what's the evidence and all that stuff. But really right now, where everything is looking like Shakur Stevenson's team and them, they're in the right. And right now, Frank Martin's team is not giving us enough information to show that there's a reason why. The only thing that would make it a valid reason for him to have not fought Shakur is if they're about to announce a Tank Davis fight. And I'm not seeing that happening. But if that does happen, I will come on here and say, hey, that was not a duck. That was not a duck. It is not a duck to fight somebody else that will give you a better opportunity. And he could get a better opportunity with Tank Davis. So let's see if that's the case, but I highly doubt it because he would have said that. He would have said, I ain't duck nothing. I'm fighting Tank Davis. He ain't say that. He just told us he ain't duck nothing. So it's crazy. Anyways, until the next one, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you on Wednesday. Peace out, guys.